Hi everybody, today I wanted to talk to you about beneficiary designations and how sometimes they're more important than the will. But before I dive into that, I want to let you know how to reach out to me. You can email me directly at Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawplc.com, or you can find me on my website, www.legionlawplc.com. So with that, let's dive right in. Beneficiary designations are the unsung part of estate planning. They are not interesting, they are not sexy, but they are extremely important because beneficiary designations, by default, overrule everything. They overrule wills, they overrule trusts, they do not care what you want. Whatever the beneficiary designation is, it will happen. Now, for those who don't know what a beneficiary designation is, these are information that you're going to attach to an asset where you say, once I pass away, this is to whom I want you to give this asset in this share, whatever. So if you say 2 kids, one gets 70, one gets 30, whatever, you can do whatever you want. But these beneficiary designations are going to be usually on accounts. So retirement accounts almost always have beneficiary designations. Bank accounts, checking, saving, accounting, or checking and saving accounts, they should have beneficiary designations. Sometimes they don't. 529, your healthcare accounts, any account that you have at a broker or a third party that holds money for you for a specific objective, there is most likely a probable chance of having a beneficiary designation on that asset. This includes insurance as well. This includes annuities, all sorts of things. So, why do I say all that? Because sometimes, actually most of the time, retirement accounts are the most valuable asset in an estate. There's the house and the retirement accounts. Those are the two biggest assets. Houses do not have beneficiary designations most of the time. It's possible actually in Texas to have one, but most of the times they don't. So that's for a different time. But retirement accounts definitely do. And if your will says, I want to give everything to A and B, and your retirement account says everything is going to Y and Z are going to get the retirement account. We don't care about the will. We don't care if you go through probate. We don't care if a judge signs off on that and says, yes, this is good to go. In fact, even if the will says this specific account, my retirement account that holds $1 million, I want it to go to A and B, even if you specifically designate that account, it still will not happen because the beneficiary designation on the account overrules the will under every circumstance under the sun. That's it. So this is extremely important because I actually just had a talk with a potential client who they were worried that somebody was taking money from the estate before going through probate. And I asked them what money it was, and it was a life insurance policy that actually had the beneficiary designation going to that specific person. So there was nothing they could do. Probate wouldn't have changed anything. That life insurance payment is going to that person regardless. So I hope you now understand the power of beneficiary designations. I hope you also understand how incredibly easy it is for those things to go out of date. Because if you get divorced, if you get remarried, if you have new children, whatever, you need to be updating those beneficiary designations constantly. Any major life event, you really should be looking at your beneficiary designations because if you fail to keep them up to date, whatever it was at the time of passing will count. I had a horror story. It was about the stepmom who stole $5 million from the kids, and this is exactly the reason why. They failed to update the beneficiary designation on the account, and therefore, even though the will and the trust said differently, and the family agreed to it differently, the money still went to the mom, and she just didn't want to talk to her stepchildren anymore after the dad had passed away. So either way, make sure you keep it up to date. In fact, the best way to go about it is to create a trust, have your beneficiary designations point to the trust, or you transfer the assets into the trust, and then all you need to do is just update the trust. That's it. You don't need to update all the accounts, all one by one, signing a million different pieces of paper. You can just create a trust, have everything go into it or point towards it, and then you just update the trust once every major event. And if you do that, the trust by default will apply to everything, and if you keep the trust up to date, you're good to go. So it's a lot less paperwork. That's yet another reason why I like trusts so much, but it's very, very important, again, to make sure your beneficiary designations are good to go. So if you have any questions on that, or if you want to ask any if you have any questions, concerns, commentary, all the good stuff, feel free to reach out to me. You can email me directly, Derek, D-E-R-E-K, at legionlawplc.com, Or you can find me on my website, where you can go to our Contact Us page. You can schedule a free over-the-phone consultation directly onto my calendar at www.legionlawpllc.com. So with that, have a great day.